Welcome to Tokenized Trust Trends. I'm Roman Levke and I'm here with Kevin Beutler. He's the owner and founder of Bali Invest and as well as this newsletter edition, Tokenized Trust Trends. And so, first of all, I'm really excited to be here on this first podcast ever. We are doing a podcast now. This is a thing. And the reason why we're doing this is because in our last edition, I ran a poll and everyone, like 100%, all of you wanted us to invite personalities, people in the real estate tokenization space that could provide value, I guess. It's something that is really exciting because it's trendy. Like right now, we're seeing a lot of the people getting interested in the real estate tokenization space. And before I go into the interview, I just wanted to lay out what we're going to discuss. This is not about selling you anything. We just want to introduce ourselves because I've been writing to you. I'm writing the newsletter as co-author with Kevin. I want to explain how we got into this, and I want to ask Kevin how he got into this real estate tokenization project. And myself, I started to work with Kevin 6 months ago, and I didn't really know anything about it. And so since I had to craft these newsletters, I did a lot of research, learned about this topic, which has got me really excited because I think it's the future of real estate per se. It's going to take over and revolutionize this industry that has a lot of issues or problems, and mostly around regulations. And I made some very interesting articles about it. But also I want to give Kevin the opportunity to just give his vision to you guys and his knowledge and experience, since he has been the founder of all of that. And so, yeah, Kevin, welcome to our first podcast, I guess.
Yeah.
My first question is, can you share your story? Just how did you get into this?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, amazing opportunities that we now starting this newsletter, and I mean our subscriber raising really up, and I think it's great to introduce us also personally. I mean, like you said, we meet 6 months ago, and you tell me your story. You also was really a successful entrepreneur on the other side of the world. He was, I think, 15, 20 years in Mexico, and then you share your story. And basically, this was our first podcast 6 months ago, and on this, there we was built something up, and now we have a great cooperation and get into this super interesting tool. And also my goal is to build up a community, yeah, because a few people also from the newsletter get already in contact with us, and we had amazing entrepreneurs there, yeah? So I think we can, build something really huge with this, because tokenization is an amazing topic. And how I get into this, so I mean, my first experience in the digital space was 2019. I get into the crypto space first with personal investments, and we built up an education platform. From 2019 to 2022, we built up over 35,000 customers, mostly in the German-speaking area, and make over 45 million with educational content. And we're creating, I mean, we can talk openly, we're creating many people who get extremely successful with crypto, who have portfolios with 100,000s, and I think even more than 100 millionaires we built up in this time. For sure, not all of these millionaires save the money. Many also lose again the money when the bear market come. And basically, this was also my reason to start the tokenization aspect, that the people, when they make money with crypto, that they can save it and get a safe passive income. Because a crypto token, when you invest in an altcoin or something, it goes up and down. And basically, this is the big difference between tokenized real estate or overall tokenized assets. There is a real world asset behind that, and not just a token who's down, or a meme coin who's maybe next week not there anymore. Here we have real assets in the back, and we generate income streams from real life aspect, like tourism, renting out, or like we discussed in the project. This is what I like. I like stability. And I like passive incomes. That money works for me, and not I need to work for the money anymore.
Okay, yeah, I think you touched upon one very important difference between what is a real world asset and just like a hype. Because I remember, and I know this because I'm a photographer, and photography has been my passion in the past. And I remember when NFT came up, and then suddenly photographers started to create NFTs based on with their photos, right? But to be honest, a photo is not a real world. I mean, you could argue it's art and everything, but what's the real value behind the photo? And so this whole NFT bubble that bursted, really, I think part of it is because they were trying to tokenize things that inherently did not have any value. And that's a core difference, because when you tokenize, when you just back up if you have a property like a real world asset and you fractionalize that with tokens on the blockchain backed up by a smart contract, it's a whole different story. We're talking about something entirely different. And so, yeah, I see the difference now. I didn't really know it at the beginning. As I said, I had to research all of that and I didn't really know. But I want to also address the elephant in the room here right away, because it's something that I've seen people worry about and they're concerned about, which is when you talk about, well, first of all, NFT already triggered this, scam alert thing. Also, since you are operating in the hotel industry, when I was living in Mexico, in Cancun, there were quite a lot of hotels that also you could categorize as scams when they were selling their timeshares. And so people, when they hear this, when they hear fractionalized ownership, hotels, crypto, it's like, okay, is this a scam? That's literally the first question. And so this is actually what we're up against, and what we are trying to do with this newsletter as well, because we're trying to educate people on the topic.
Exactly.
Right? The reason why we do this is because it's such a huge trend, but nobody really knows what it is. So what I see a lot, and I've been,
to be honest, I'm 5 years now into crypto, and I see so many of this. Yeah, and I personally, I lose. I mean, for sure, I make millions, and I also lose millions. Yeah, I mean, I'm still super successful in this space, and I know what is what's going on there. But basically, what you said, there is. I mean, I think one of my biggest how to say, values what I can give, that I can explain complex things in a really easy way. And I don't want to drive so deeply into the crypto, because there is so much difference from token standards, from NFT, from different tokens. But basically what you said in the beginning is like, it need to have a value. Yeah. And but from what comes to value, I mean, for example, when we see the most successful NFT collection overall, the Bored Apes, this was just random pictures, but they was worth $100,000. But there was a community aspect behind, and many famous people, Justin Bieber or Tom Hanks or whatever, all the superstars from Los Angeles, from Hollywood, yeah, they bought this, and for sure people said, oh, this need to have a value, and they had a great marketing, because the celebrities, they was buy-it, and that's why the prices was raised up so much. And basically there was no value behind it. For sure they built up a community, and you have exclusive access to events, but it's, to be honest, it doesn't worth that you buy for a picture for $300,000. But I mean, I know people, they buy them when they was at $10,000, and then they sell them at $300,000. And then it was a great deal. So also with this, you can make money, but you have to be really into the market. And I don't recommend. This is just speculation. And basically, what we do, we want to bring real value. Yeah, and that's why, I mean, here in Bali, we have already the Sigara Seaside Resort. It's already finished. It's generate income stream. Everything is transparent. We show the incomes. Many of our investors, they come here. And also this is not just the profit, it's also the community aspect. I think it's also super important that you get into a successful, like I said already beginning, you get in a community where you have people. There's maybe some lawyers, there is doctors, there is also many political people who have high positions, and from this you can create a nice network. And like we actually building here, I can show you. This is our retreat and wellness center, what we actually built in Lovina in the north. And this is also a place for transformation, that successful entrepreneurs come together. And I think this is also an interesting aspect in this case. Yeah. So this is basically, I think, the most important. And what you said about this, the scams and this, I mean, everywhere. I mean, even when the internet was come up in 2000, yeah, there was so many scammers because it's a new topic. And now I would say mostly this was like 2020, 2021, the last bull run what I was make. Now it's different. People have more knowledge, and also we have ChatGPT. The knowledge is there, so basically people can protect themselves. All the knowledge is already out there.
Yeah, I think this is true. Knowledge and courses and all of that is decreasing in value because it's so widely available to everyone. So you can just you can just ask ChatGPT about a lot of things.
Definitely,
But yeah, so I want to just go deeper in the same thing, that issue we talked about, because I think it's that when you compare two things, then it becomes obvious, right? The differences. So when we talk about real estate, because that's what the asset actually is, right? We're talking about, in your case, about hotel developments. You're now developing, as I think, also a gym.
Yeah.
And then other real estate properties. It can be any real estate whatsoever, right? But
Also,
there is a
stocks, also gold. I mean, basically, you can tokenize everything what have a value.
yes, but it makes a difference when you switch products, because we talk about real estate market, right? The real estate market is notorious for very highly regulated. You have a ton of people in between, and this is all stuff that I've learned by writing those articles about the newsletter, and because I actually didn't know. But it depends also on the countries. But it's safe to say that in any country you'll find a ton of regulations when it comes to real estate, from construction permits and all sorts of notary and legal things. There's kind of a load of money. I was about to swear, but a load of money goes down the sinkhole, because you have to pay all of these middlemen that gonna get a share, and taxes, and the state and the government. And in some cases, for example, where I lived in Mexico, and I think also this is true for Indonesia, as a foreigner, you can't actually own a piece of land here. So you have to go through the third party. You have to create a company, and then under that name you can purchase the piece of land. Not in Mexico, this is a thing. And since most or many of our audience here on the newsletter are Americans, so Mexico is probably relevant to you as well, because it's so close. Indonesia is a little bit farther away, but the thing is, with the tokenized real estate, that's not an issue, because now you own this on the chain, and there's a smart contract between, and nobody can actually take that away from you, which is a huge, like, that alone makes already all the difference, I think, because I lost the property the wrong way when I was in Mexico. When I lost my company during the COVID pandemic, I had that arrangement. I bought my house on the beach through my company, and when shit hit the fan, it was all gone, right? And so this is a unique situation. I'm not saying that everyone has the same problems, but it goes to show a systemic issue, which not exists with these tokenized properties, right? So because it's all backed up on the chain, and as long as you make sure that the company running the property you want to buy in is legit, and the value they're actually projecting, or what the value of the asset is real, and you can go there and can see, and there's really no way you can be scammed.
You mentioned the most important points, basically, because tokenization makes it much more easier. You don't need to come, you don't need to set up a company, you don't need to have a tax person for this, you don't need to take care even about the construction process. Yeah, I mean, you have the experts here. I mean, I'm 5 years here. I'm married since 4 years with a Balinese woman. I know all the regulations. Yeah, we have also all the high contacts that is super important, especially for the permits. Yeah, that all these permits getting fast done. For example, I can just talk from the personal export. For example, for the Lovina Regional Wellness, it's a hotel. It needs to be a pink zone here in Indonesia, and before, the land was a green zone. This means like it was agriculture. So on agriculture, you can grow papayas, or you can grow mango or rice, but you can build a hotel. And to change this process is normally a really complex thing. But with the local context, and because my wife is Balinese, it was a really easy process. We not even need to go to the office to Jakarta. We can make everything in Bali, and all the documents is there. And this was a process of one from I would say this was 9 months, and sometimes it takes years. So and now we have the safety. We have bought the land freehold. Yeah, freehold. This means not for 30 years. It's forever. And we have all the permits, we have everything, and this getting done without any investor need to be involved, need to care about this or have headaches with this. And this is great. So it's super important when you invest in tokenized assets away from us, no matter in which country you invest. If you do it in Bali, you have the experts. We are here. But for example, if you do it in Mexico, have someone who is the expert there, who have everything there, and he take care for us and for you. And you don't need to, you need to build all this up by yourself, and you just invest and you get your returns. And that's an amazing point. So you can have property all over the world without building up a complex company system, a complex tax system, and it's a huge opportunity. This will change everything. And basically, what we are doing, we tokenize the company, and we not tokenize the real estate. So basically, the people, they own everything. The company owns the land, the company owns the property, and you, as a tokenized shareholder, have a part of this company. And this is, I think, also a really interesting part.
Okay. Is that a special arrangement, or is this something about Bali Invest that's different from other companies, or is this how it should be done generally?
I mean, I don't wanna make this all the time to myself, but we do it in a really smart way. We do it basically super smart because especially when you talk about scams, I don't wanna blame others. But for example, when the company of them owns the land and they just tokenize the property, then maybe in 5 years they can say, "Oh yeah, you own the property, but the land is mine, so you have to pay us high interest." And then they have always so many backdoors. And I know the market out there. I see what others doing, and for sure, for them it's smart. But maybe also most investors, they don't realize. But basically, this is also why we set up Tokenized Trust Trends, because we want to give the people transparency. We want to educate them, and I don't want to talk bad about the market, but like I said, in every new market, there are black sheeps. Black sheeps, we say in Germany, schwarze Schafe, who not do it in the right way and don't on the investor side. And this is more, for me, humanity. Humanity is more in the focus than the profit, because profits you can do with everything. Yeah? But really build up this community and also have this human aspect and building something with not just value for money, also value for humanity. This is super important. That's also why we said that a percentage of all the profits goes to the local communities, supporting the locals. And I mean, when I just talk about this project, all the locals, mostly they're living in the north and they have to drive 3-4 hours to the south to get a job there. And also we want to balance the tourism. So we have higher points what we're doing with the project. This is basically also one of the vision, we can say.
That's your vision for Bali, for contributing to Bali, because Bali does have its issues in infrastructure. When you just looking in the southern parts, Canggu and all of these parts, it's just too much now. So and then I've been in Lovina. Lovina is so calm and there's nothing going on. Yeah, this is true.
And the land prices, I mean, just imagine 100 square meters in Canggu, $150,000-$200,000. In Lovina, we had paid. Oh, now also the prices raise up, but basically say there be 5,000. Yeah, so it's a huge difference. Yeah, and when the airport in a few years is finished, I think even this is. I mean, when you said you can double your money with a crypto token, double your money with land, it's possible.
Yeah, definitely. And you're right about the black sheep. It's true. It doesn't really matter which business you go in; you always find those. Which is why, and I've interviewed over, maybe in the last 6 months, I've interviewed over, I don't know, 50 different founders of companies of all types. Well, mostly service-based, but also real estate, realtors, and different entrepreneurs and founders. And it's clear that no matter what you're going into, if it's this is true for network marketing or service businesses, or you want to know you actually want to, before you invest in something, you want to know who is behind it, like who's the founder. That's really the question here. because the values the founder has and the vision the founder has for the company or for the project is really it's one of the most important aspects to know. That's why I thought it would be a great idea to bring you also on the newsletter so people can actually get to know you. And then this just it's I think it's the most important part. We're still humans, and we only do business with people. Business is a people thing, not so much money. It's getting to know people and helping other people.
I would say
That's
money is a nice side effect. It's a nice side effect. If you do the right things, if you bring value, money will come to you. Yeah, this is basically what I understand
right.
already.
Right. By helping other people, the consequence is you're gonna get rich and you're gonna have a lot of profit. Right. I agree. Okay. So since you brought up vision, what is the vision for? I mean, you already mentioned one part, which is expanding into the north part of Bali. And what is your vision for real estate tokenization as a whole, like globally, and for Bali Invest? What role is Bali Invest gonna play in that global vision?
Yeah, basically for the global vision, maybe I need to change the name for the future because I mean tokenization is huge all over the world, yeah, and we have a successful concept. We have to prove, we have to prove, even not just because of the north, also because of the neighbor island Nusa Lembongan, where we built up the Segara Seaside Resort. And our expertise, our network, also we have a great developer network. We have a great social media team, yeah. So a great marketing team with you and Tanner for who doing an amazing job. We see the growth rate, yeah, every day, like 20, 30 people joining the newsletter right now. And we built up something huge. And also we want to educate other companies out there, no matter in which country they do, for sure. There's other regulations, yeah. And then they need to fit the regulations there. But we also want to educate them, help them to grow this concept because it will be a big change in the world. Yeah. When we talk about experts who said tokenization market until 2000 just, I mean, we have nearly 2026, yeah, just 4 years away, will be a 16 trillion market, yeah. And this is huge, yeah. And we need good entrepreneurs out there who build up possibilities all over the world. And I want that they do it in the right way and not that people fell into a trap and then basically they lose the trust. That's why the name is Tokenized Trust Trends, that we build trust in this new industry. And yeah, so this is basically, so we might need to be globally invest tokenization. I don't know what this is, just what is coming up out. But basically, this is also part of the vision. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, I believe. I mean, globalization is a thing. There is this well, again, the word globalized trend that everything is now. The networking is really everything, and again, it's people who do business with other people. What I see, and the only thing that what I've read and researched about is that obviously the roadblocks or the bottlenecks for the growth in that space is going to be regulations and the different how countries, because for example, since our readers are from the US, in the US the regulations are actually not that straightforward. They have in comparison. I made an article about that like 2 weeks ago where I dove into the differences between Asian regulations and European regulations and American, and America is actually a little bit behind with that because they have not really laid out the foundation or the legal framework so that real estate tokenization could take off. It's actually right now if I had to name one country or place where real estate tokenization is totally taking off right now, it's Dubai. Like they have really made everything, or basically they have.
They make everything easy to come, that the money comes in.
Yes, those, yeah. Dubai is really right now a hotspot
They have
for.
smart leaders. They have super smart leaders. Saudi Arabia the same. I mean, many are in this Middle Eastern area. Yeah, so they super smart. That's why it's growing enormously there.
Yes. So in the global context, there are differences, and investors, if you're interested in that, you should be aware of that, and probably if there is no clear clarity, which the problem is when there's lack of clarity, right? Because lack of clarity means insecurity. In other words, you don't know if you're investing in something, if there is actually, and so in order to circumvent that problem, you want checking out all like the global trend and where it's just safer to do that. And this is especially true for investors that have like high value investors who diversify, who are able to diversify their investments. And so this is why emerging countries like Indonesia and other countries around Asia and even the UAE, which is why this is so interesting, because there's a lot of potential and opportunity, and so it's just gonna go up. That's the
Yeah, and also it's interesting, and I mean this is also one of the challenges, because basically the crypto market or the digital market, it's a more freedom, yeah, it's a more freedom based than the usual system. Yeah, this is basically what people are searching for. They want to invest to get more free, financially free, independent on the world. And when we see now that when the regulations come in the market, when you talk about regulations, that they want the KFC, especially in Germany, yeah, KYC, AML, this. You need to provide all. You have to make yourself completely naked. Then I said, wait. Normally, I want to invest there because I want to be free. I want to be maybe also a little bit more anonymously. And then in the end, with all this regulation, you get me all the freedom away. And there we need to find the balance. Yeah, there we really need to find the balance that is also not getting over-regulated. And I personally, I would invest in such over-regulated countries, because I want to keep my freedom, and I also want to keep my privacy. And I know many people out there, they thinking same.
Yeah, especially right now with the over regulations that are taking place in the EU with so that's actually the reason why a lot of investors are just leaving. I mean, this is why the UK has lost the highest number of millionaires last year ever. Like everyone is leaving. Like it's younger
Especially because of the
entrepreneurs.
conflict with Russia. I mean, it's no secret that many rich Russian people was moving into the UK, and now with the conflict, I mean, Europe destroyed themselves. We can tell it directly. Yeah, so it's all the economy goes down there. I mean, it's sad to see it as a German, but basically it's the truth. Yeah, Europe.
It's also it's a political issue too, because they want to take away. Some politicians just want to take away your right for privacy, for private property, and I think in the US this is actually better now. It's at least it's not in imminent danger to be removed, right? But yeah, we don't know a lot of these. What we do know is that real estate tokenization is a growing trend, big time, and a lot of people are interested. And so I want to show my the audience just what we have. So we have what proves the interest. What I was about to say is that the reason why I know this is so trendy and so interesting to you guys is because our newsletter has 70% open rate. It's almost unspoken, like it's unprecedented. I've never had a newsletter with such a high open rate. So that is a good sign, and I'm really happy about that. Do you want to add something else, Kevin, before we wrap it up?
I think it's amazing that we give now these insights, and also I just want to make how to say that the community also is active. Give us feedback, what you want to know. You see, here's a lot of expertise. Also that we have more of this engagement. I mean, it's an amazing open rate, like you said already. Also now many people vote that they want a podcast, so we're really open to educate. We have nice tools like the 5 days email course. I mean, for the German community, we also have a school community, the Tokenized Asset Mastery, where we educate the people with more than 50-60 videos. And the community is growing. We have amazing people there, and I'm super happy to build this up.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Kevin, for your time. And to you out there, audience, we're going to keep hammering. We're going to keep bringing up new people, interesting personalities from the real estate tokenization space. I'm already.
Basically, this is the point what we can say, because I mean, we just start now with the outreach, and we get already a few super interesting personalities who will have podcast on the Bali Beyond YouTube channel soon. So this will be interesting. Yeah.
I'm proactively reaching out to people from the US. If you are someone if you want to join us, please let us know in the newsletter in the comment section. And that's about it. Thank you for tuning in. Bye. Okay.